Good morning you guys, it's Karen, and today I am here to compare these two hot brushes. So I did a video showing you how I use my Babyliss Big Hair, which is this one, to dry my hair, although mine was old and I bought a new one. And it's amazing how different they looked. I put a picture on Instagram and I realised then how old my old one was. I'd had it for about 7 years, so this is the new one. So this is what I've been using for years to dry my hair. I always dry my hair with my hairdryer until it's about 70–80% dry, and then I finish off with this, and it's my favourite way of drying my hair. But whenever I talked about this, or whenever I talk about this, you guys always mention the Revlon Stila, the 2-in-1 Stila, and say how it's better. But I had a look. I got curious because quite a few of you were saying how much you loved this, and I was very curious, and so I kept looking at reviews and whatnot and thinking, you know, is there anything that would be different about this? Would it be any lighter? Would it be any easier for me to use? Because I have elbow joint problems, and you know, holding anything is difficult. But I find using a Babyliss, this brush, easier than using a brush and a blow dryer, because then you've got two things to hold. So anyway, I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to compare the two. And I'm sort of, in one way I'm pleased I did, and another way I'm not. I'll tell you about that as I go along. But there's definitely a lot of differences between these, and I hope this video will be really useful in helping you to decide which one you might prefer to buy. I'll put the video of me using this for the first time at the end of this comparison, so you can actually see this being used as you have the Babyliss one. So both of these I bought from Amazon. The Babyliss one is £40 and the Revlon one is £50. So this one is £10 more expensive. In the US, this is a kind of light blue colour, but it looks to be the same brush. What I also discovered, and I'm a bit annoyed that I hadn't seen it, is you can buy this one, I think it's about £5 more expensive, with exchangeable heads, and you get a smaller head on it. Had I seen that, I would have got that one, to be honest with you, but obviously now I'm kind of overrun with hairbrushes. They both have 2 heat and speeds and 1 cool setting. I would say the cool setting on this takes quite a while to get cool, because this brush does get quite hot, which I'm going to talk about, and then when you switch it to the cool setting, it's really sort of cooling the hairdryer down, or the tool down, rather than it is giving you a blast of cool air. But then this one isn't that cool either. I've definitely, a hairdryer with a cool shot is completely different to these two with their cool shot, but they've both got it, and they've both got 2 heats and speeds. They're the same weight. I actually weighed them. I wasn't sure which one. I was like, I'm not sure. This one maybe feels a little bit lighter. This one is, they're both the same weight, but this one is bigger. So you can see side by side that this one is a bigger brush. Okay, that's the things that are the same with these brushes. Let me talk to you about the things that are different. I'll start with the Babyliss Big Hair. This one rotates, so you have a button on the side versus this one, it's at the, I find this one a bit tricky to use actually, the twister thing at the bottom, but this one is just on the front, and you put it on, and then you've got these 2 buttons here which will rotate the brush 2 different ways. So that's one way, that's the other way. This one doesn't rotate at all, so that's something that I find really useful to get even heat in your hair, you know, so that you are not just concentrating it in one area. You'll have seen when I did it, I sort of go like this, take it to the end, and the brush is rotating, and I feel like it's getting more even heat, and it's also, this is easier to get a curl with because of the rotating brush. Yeah, I said that next. I said I got more curl and volume using this. When I used that, I felt like my hair was just, it wasn't flat, but it just didn't have as much volume as I get with this. And I think with this, I can get it closer to the root. You know, I can really get it in here and sort of rotate it, and also if I use the spinning part, I can get it close to my head. Whereas with this one, I suppose because it's so big, I don't know, I've not got enough volume, not got the same amount of volume from the Revlon one. This one is round, whereas this one is oval. Now you can see that this one is bigger, but they are different shapes. So this one is just a nice round shape, and this one is that oval shape, but a lot bigger. I don't love the oval shape. I wish it was round, but there must be a reason they've done that. So maybe they tried it round and it's easier to handle this way. I'm not sure, but that's another difference. Something else that is different, which I didn't even think about, to my shame, I guess you could say. This one is cruelty-free. Babyliss are cruelty-free, and Revlon, of course, is not. Now, I'm converting all of my skincare to cruelty-free. I started off with makeup. It's a long process to 100% convert everything and use everything up and, you know, find out which new products you can use. And I'm also doing it with hair care. I haven't bought anything that I've known to be cruelty-free, but I didn't even think about tools, and, you know, I've not yet onto tools and even nail things, although I tried to be mindful of it. Anyway, like I said, Revlon is not cruelty-free now I think about it. So that's a major difference. Babyliss is a cruelty-free brand. That's everything that's different on this one. So let me tell you what the differences are on this one, and then I can tell you my thoughts on which is my favourite and which I would recommend for you. This one has more power, I think. Let's see what they're like switched on full power and see if you can tell. That's the Babyliss. Yeah, I think you can hear that. This one is much more powerful. I don't know what, you know, wattage or anything they are. I don't think it says on it. Maybe it does. No, it doesn't say on it, but this one is definitely more powerful, and you can hear that. This one has plastic bristles. You can see that it's got those little pink plastic bristles, but it's also got the other bristles. They're just a bit shorter. So it's almost like this, but with the addition of some plastic bristles on it. So I think there's probably more bristles on here. And the only other thing I've put about this is this one gets really, really hot. And that is something that a lot of people have said about it, that it is in the reviews of this, and it is like a common problem. I used this, like I said, I'll put the footage at the end, but I wasn't sure whether to use it from wet hair, or I didn't think that it would be able to cope with that. And I did blast my hair very, very quickly, but nothing like what I would normally do for my Babyliss Big Hair. And my hair dried very, very quickly with this. So I think I didn't need to blast it really with the hairdryer, and I dried my hair with this quicker than I would normally dry my hair at all. I would normally be walking around with a towel on it, and then I would maybe just put it in a little ponytail or something. I normally leave it for a few hours, or an hour at least, before I dry my hair, and I think it had only been 20 minutes, half an hour. So this one, I'm confident that you could dry your hair from wet to dry with this, and I almost did that. Oh, that got me fright. That was a little email. Sorry about that. So yeah, this gets major brownie points for that. But I don't get as much volume, and I think with this one, I definitely prefer this one from a styling point of view, because when I've used this one, I just feel my hair is... I'd use this for a night out. I'd use this just every day, or if I was in a rush. And actually what I've put down here is that this one is my favourite in terms of the results on how my hair looked, because it looked, like I said, it's got a little bit more of a curl at the bottom, you know, and a little bit more volume at the roots. You may not even notice it. Hopefully I've got a picture of the two results and we can compare them. But where this will be really, really useful is I will take this on holiday with me. So we are supposed to be going away in June. We're still crossing our fingers that that may be a possibility, but you know, we'll see. But anyway, if we ever get to go on holiday again, this is something I could take and just not bother taking my hot brush or my hairdryer or a straightener. What I would normally take would be my hairdryer and a straightener. I don't actually take this on holiday with me because it takes a bit of time to use, but I could take this, dry my hair, it'd still be styled, ready to go. I wouldn't need a straightener and I wouldn't need a hairdryer. So that's where this, you know, kind of wins, if you like. But for the results, I prefer this one. So one other thing that might influence which one you buy is this one with the rotation has a bit more of a learning curve and is more likely to tangle your hair, I would say. I was sort of twisting this and I was worried about, so I was doing it like this, and I'd get it to here and think, yeah, I really want to, you know, fold it towards my head, but I'm worried about my hair getting tangled in this. But actually it didn't. I'd do this and I can actually pull it there, or I can just undo it, you know, and it didn't get tangled at all. With this one, I've been using it, like I said, for 7 years, and I still sometimes press the wrong button and twist it the wrong way, or put too much hair in it and it gets caught in the rotation bit here. So I think with this one, if you're worried about your abilities, this one is probably easier to use. Like I said, they're both the same weight and it's much easier to use than a hairdryer and a brush. I can't do that. I actually don't have the skill to use a brush and a hairdryer. It just it doesn't work for me. But yeah, if you're worried about your skill level, this is probably the easiest to use. But if you're looking for the most volume, it is a learning curve, but it doesn't take long to get into the habit of which one to use. This one would be better for you for more volume. If it's quickness you're after, you know, you just want to, perhaps you're a mum and you just want to be able to dry your hair quickly and it be ready to go. Again, this one would be quicker because you're just using one product and you can dry it from wet to dry and it doesn't take long at all, and it's quicker than using a hairdryer. But for special occasions or whatever, or for more volume, yeah, this one is definitely a winner for me. I'm actually surprised that I'm happy to have 2 rotating brushes, because I thought that I would just prefer one over the other and maybe sell the other one or something, or give it away. But actually I really like this, and like I said, this will definitely be going on holiday with me, and if I'm ever in a rush, I'm gonna grab this one and just use it. You know, if I'm not, this one will be for nights out, meeting my friend for lunch, going out with Kev, whatever, you know, special occasions if you like. But this one is going to be much quicker for me. But I will be using it on heat too, but occasionally turning it down to the cool shot to cool it right down, because that I suppose I haven't said that, but the worry would be then that you were burning your hair, because remember, it's not moving. Well, I suppose you could move it, you know. It's probably better if you're using this to use it like that rather than to use it like so and just hold it, because then you've got that heat, you know, just being held against your hair. So I'll probably move it more, and like I said, constantly use the cool shut button. Okay, what I'm going to do first is see if I can use this to dry my hair from wet. So that is my hair just washed, and I've had it in my microfiber towel for just about 10 minutes, not long at all. I normally keep it longer for that, even when I'm drying it. But so this is the brush here. I'm going to put it on. There's a cold 1 and a 2. I'm going to put it on 1 because I did switch it on just to make sure it was working, and I have to say on 2 it was really hot. So I see what people are saying about how it could heat up and get too hot. With that is, that's going to take forever. I won't be able to hold my arm up like that, so I'm going to go for 2 instead. Yeah, I think you probably could dry your hair fully with it, because that's drying it pretty darn quickly. But what I'm thinking is I am going to blast it with a Dyson, because I was just thinking there, if I'm to do a like-to-like comparison, then my hair should be a little bit dry, if that makes sense. Although I suppose this might be an advantage on this one, that you can dry your hair, you know, you can blow dry it from soaking wet. So maybe I'll continue on. I'm going to blast it. Okay, I just gave it a little blast, enough that it's not completely soaking, but it's still pretty wet. Much dry. That's layer 1. I have to say, at this stage it's not feeling as volumized as with the other one, but we'll see. Ouch! Ouch! That is extremely hot. Ah! Okay, I can confirm that is very hot. Turned it up there because it was just taking too long on that. Although it's a lower heat, it's actually a lower power as well, which is a bit of a pain. So let's try this last bit. So I hope that that was useful to you. I think there's definitely some of you out there that are kind of die-hard Revlon and others that are die-hard Babyliss, and I could only find one video in the US that was comparing the two, and I didn't feel that it talked about every aspect, such as the price and etc, etc. So I thought it was worth me doing this. So hopefully it's been helpful to you. I'd love to know in the comments which one of these is your favourite, if any. Do you even bother with tools like this, or do you think it's going to be another gimmick? I think that's the trouble, isn't it? There's so many tools and things out there that I've definitely been guilty of buying things like my slow cooker, you know, not just beauty things, but I bought a slow cooker and I barely use it. I just forget it's there and I forget to use it, and then when I use it, I love it, but I just forget it's there. Whereas there's other things like my NutriBullet that I remember Kev saying, oh, that'll be another thing you buy and don't end up using. I use it every single day. I have a shake in it every single morning. So you might be thinking this way about these, like, oh, is there any point? I'm quite happy drying my hair with a hairbrush, you know. And if you don't have problems with your arms, with your joints at all, and, you know, you've got enough volume in your hair doing it that way and you're quite happy doing it that way, maybe you don't need either. But yeah, let us know which is your favourite, and I'll list all of my makeup etc in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.